Okay, thank you. Well, I think my forte is teaching. I love to teach and I love to share. And years ago, I was so interested in helping myself and my family. That's why I got into the herbal business. I wanted to learn how to take care of myself and not necessarily have to put myself into the hands of a doctor. I wanted to know how my body worked and what I could do for it. So my journey was into the herbal industry and vitamins and essential oils and learning about them. But it's not enough to learn. It's working with people and getting their feedback. So actually, if you are working with people and signing them up and doing all these wonderful things, you definitely want to get some feedback from them. That's going to be important. That's going to build an arsenal of information for you so that you can understand more about the product, because I learn more from my clients than I actually do from reading something on a paper about a product. I love the feedback. And so for years, that's what I did. I worked with clients and I got a lot of feedback. And I say to this day, they're my best teachers. So make a list of your people under you, call them, ask them how they're doing. Sometimes there's some things that you can add as far as some suggestions that'll keep them motivated and keep them interested in the product if they hit a bit of a wall. And people do once in a while. So when I looked at these products, as you know in my story before, if you've heard it, I wasn't really interested because I had 600 products at my disposal with another company. And that's a lot of products. I mean, you feel like I got more than what I need. What do I need something more for? And I do a little bit of testing. There's a way I evaluate products and kind of give them a ranking. And so I thought, well, if I can just get a sample of this product, I can see if I've got something that will do the same thing, you know. Don't have to get involved and do extra work. So I went ahead and agreed to get some of the product. And when I tested it, I was kind of blown away because out of 600 products, I really couldn't find anything that was a substitute or a duplicate for this. And that just never happens. It just never happens. So I was immediately very impressed with the formulators of this product. And sorry, I got a little froggy this morning. And I knew they had something really, really special. So I started using this and got so excited about it because I can kind of tell where things are working in my body, and I could tell it was moving around, working in different spots. And I love that. It's like my body was so excited to be using it. Immediately, my sleep was better, my digestion was better. I wasn't sleeping well on my left shoulder. It felt like a tendon was really tight in there, and I've had frozen shoulder before. So I was like, oh, that shoulder, you know. So when I started taking this within a couple of weeks, I noticed it wasn't bothering my shoulder to lay on it anymore. And that was kind of impressive to me. And of course, I listened to Dr. Bowers. And please, please have all your people listen to Dr. Bowers and also to Dr. Kareem. Having professionals let you know their experiences, that's very, very powerful. And of course, Dr. Bowers is a researcher and he has a research facility. So that's a very powerful thing. So I worked with the Fix for a while, as all of you probably have done, and different people having different results. I had one lady able to move her leg in a direction she hadn't been able to move it before because the nerve wasn't functioning. I had another lady noticed a lot of mental health benefits, which her drugs had only taken her so far, her medications had only taken her so far, and she felt much calmer. So I was hearing different things coming in. One lady did a real turnaround in a skin condition. She started to notice things started to shift, and not necessarily fast. It took a little bit of time. Another lady lost weight, but not the first month. It took some time. Her husband, who has had severe rheumatoid arthritis, the fourth month, things had amazing shifts. His doctor's so amazed he wants to know what he is taking. So this is something, it's a work in progress. I want people to really get that. This is a work in progress. And if you don't notice something the first week, it doesn't mean it's not working. This is a powerful, powerful group of bitters from the hops flower, and bitters by nature detoxify. And so, do we have toxins in our body? Do you know a pollution test was done years ago? I used to have a handout on it where they were taking samples of blood. It was expensive, it's $2,000 or $3,000 test, and they were measuring pollutants in the body. And they thought when they got to the guy who was eating organic food and doing all the right things, they wouldn't find much, but they found it in him too. And that was kind of an eye opener to me. None of us are walking around with pure bodies. We've got heavy metals. We can have aluminum, copper, lead. Look at all the years of unleaded gas that was pumped into the atmosphere. Um, Mercury, we know our fish has that. We know we're getting things from the ocean. The ocean is polluted. We know they're doing things to our meat and chicken and our fresh fruits and vegetables, all kinds of things. You can't really avoid it. If you lived on a farm or in the Garden of Eden, you might have a bit of a chance. I know I worked with a fellow who was from Montana. He was in a little podunk town far away from everything. And when I put him on my biofeedback machine, he showed the lowest match to detoxifiers I had ever seen. And I thought, wow, is that what we have to do? We have to move out to a little town in Montana and be away from everybody. So, anyway, the point is, we're not exempt from toxin accumulation. It accumulates in the fat tissue also, and in other organs, our liver and our kidney. So, when we start taking fix, the body uses it as a tool because it's a bitters to start excavating and getting down into these tissues and starting to support the healthy elimination of toxins that might have been difficult for the body to release. So the reason why people are walking around with this stuff is they are difficult to release. The average body is not releasing lead very well, or old x-ray residue and things like this. It's cumulative. So what impressed me so much about this product is I started to see people who had been on supplements for a long time have these little mini healing crises where, oh, my knee hurt for a little while and then it went away, or my kidneys hurt for a little while and then it went away, or I had a headache that day and then it went away. And I thought, oh my goodness, this stuff is really routing out some things because it's moving around the system and getting some things that have been in there that the normal herbal and vitamin programs haven't been really getting everything taken care of. So that's impressive to me. And I've been able to monitor myself. I have a biofeedback machine. So I know I've been dumping some metals and some things of that nature. And yeah, it's not pleasant. You get a little bit of inflammation temporarily when you are dumping toxins, but I tell you, it is so worth it. We know that so many people are dying of heart disease and cancer, and there's arthritis and there's diabetes. And we're really a disease ridden culture because we have so many toxins locking up in our system. So this is like a divine appointment to have fix come into our lives. Please do not rate it on whether you lost weight that month or the next month. Please do not do that. The weight is involved with your metabolism. The metabolism is affected by toxins. Things have to shift and change and move and reconfigure in the body. The body doesn't heal in a straight line upward. It heals in little jagged pathways upwards, where it's working in one area, finally starts to get that rebuilding and refreshed, and then it'll work over in another area. Some areas you may feel no change. Other times you might say, why am I so exhausted? For the last 3 days, I've been exhausted. Oh, it's day 4. I feel okay again. So it's that type of thing you may experience. The reason why the average person is not experiencing those types of things is because they are medicating and suppressing their symptomology. And often the toxins, I believe, are suppressed also. The vitality tends to be lower from what I see in biofeedback, the more medications that people are on. And so if you have a lower vitality, it's harder to expel some of the things we need to expel. So that's my take on the fix. I don't market it as a weight loss supplement, although I know that as the body detoxifies and the metabolism comes up and a lot of things come into play, that can certainly happen. We know it does work on visceral fat, but that's a little more invisible to us. I market it as get get your whole body cleaned up. Let's clean up some of the things so that you may never know the disease that you may have gotten from holding on to toxicity in your body. So I've taught that for years. I've taught about cleansing the body. It's not something you do once a year. We used to say once a year. Then we used to say twice a year. Now, and it's been years since I've taught, but we started saying daily. We need to do something daily to keep the toxins on the move and out of the body. So fix, yes, start there. That is a really fabulous product to begin. But you might find if you have a lot of toxicity in your body and it starts to move, kind of like a log jam moving, you can feel not your best. So what can we do to remedy that? Well, I've talked about that a little bit, using pomegranate juice, using beet juice, using a little extra vitamin C or something like that. But now that we have Fit is a very, very powerful antioxidant mixture. And I even said to a friend of mine, I said, well, they've got the Fix. The Fix was like divinely inspired. This is an amazing, powerful bitters formula. And I can't find a duplication for that in all my 600 products. It's amazing. They'll never be able to do that again. I just don't think they will. And then Fit comes out, and I did some testing on it, and I can't believe the high vitality of that product. It's very, very high. And hats off to the formulators of this. Whoever is formulating the recipes of this is really good. Keep that guy on. Don't get rid of him. He's awesome. So with Fit, and I want people not to be afraid to try this. This is something worth trying. It's worth trying for at least a 3-month challenge. I hope you'll all stay on these beyond that, though. But Fit, being a powerful antioxidant, is powerful for every tissue in the human body as a powerful antioxidant. So what is an antioxidant? I'm going to read you a definition. It's a substance that counteracts oxidation, which is synonymous with deterioration. And our bodies are aging. They do deteriorate if we're not taking care of them properly. And some of us notice it. Some of us feel like we're aging faster than others. You can really see that when you go to your class reunion. That's the place you start noticing some things. So vitamin C, we've always talked about, because it can potentially get those damaging cellular deteriorating agents out of the body, but it's not as powerful as the Fit. The Fit, because it's got that combination of high antioxidant agents. And I want to tell you what's in it, because some people don't yet know what is in this product. It is 400 milligrams of vitamin C as ascorbic acid. It's guarana powder, which is actually a powerful antioxidant also, at 250 milligrams. Now, that can be a little bit stimulating, but it's great for the metabolism to give that nice energy. And I found people who felt they were a little sensitive to caffeine have done really well with this if they take it in the morning. If they feel they need a second packet, we take a second one at noon. But if you take it after that, due to the cycles of the body, it can be a little overstimulating, especially if you're taking it at dinner or after dinner. So I don't recommend doing that. But people have had even nice energy and mental alertness. And I've had people try just a few packets and they've really liked it. So do know that if you give them your link, your retail link, they can go in there and buy a week's worth if they'd like to. And they get an option of buying a second week's worth at half price when they do that. But that's a way for them to try it. And that's really all I've had to do. I bought some of the sample packs when they were available, and quite a few of them. And I add a few of them when I'm talking to people. I add a few of them to if they're ordering something to me, and I say, give this a try for energy. A lot of people are so dependent on their coffee. And even on the coffee, they find their energy going up and down and up and down. So I know we have a coffee in our line, and that coffee is a little different with the products with it, and the way it's infused or the side products that you can get with it. So that will be a little bit of a different story. But I know that People want that nice, even energy. So that's what I'm looking for too, and that's where fit comes in. But we want to age less fast. We don't want organs to deteriorate. We don't want our kidney to deteriorate faster than the liver or the circulation. We want to age gracefully, and we want to have our body getting what it needs to not have that deterioration going at a fast rate. And so we know that stress and lifestyle cause a lot of that. And that's where I want to add something else here. If you're taking these products and not changing your lifestyle, or you're still thinking a lot of negative thoughts or speaking a lot of negativity, try to change some of those things, because all of those contribute to your physical, mental, and emotional health. It can make a difference. I used to notice that certain people who were joyful and positive seemed to have higher vitality and got better faster. And people who were negative and complaining, and we all go through that sometimes. Even I go through that sometimes. But if that becomes a lifestyle, people don't move ahead as fast as they should. So it's just something I've noticed over 45 years of working with people. So let's keep going here. We've got vitamin C, 400 milligrams, guarana, 250 milligrams, green tea extract, 250 milligrams, and then 350 milligrams of a proprietary grouping. And that grouping is elderberry extract, bilberry extract, and grapeseed extract. So I did something. I thought, yeah, I'll go and I'll research all these. And then I thought, well, I'm just going to ask Mr. AI to tell me what a product would do that contains all these nutrients. And it's amazing what it cranked out. So I want to read a little bit what it said to you. It said, with these products, this offers a range of potential health benefits, primarily due to the synergistic effect of their antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and stimulant properties. These ingredients would be aimed at supporting the immune function. Okay, do we need some immune boosting? We're coming into fall, and people need that. It would boost energy. Okay, that's how we get our fat metabolism to come around. It would promote cardiovascular health, heart and circulation. We know that disease in that area is one of the #1 problems in this country. We need a good food for those areas. It would protect against oxidative stress. Okay, that's the breakdown and deterioration of the system. However, benefits can be based on the dosage. Some people may need 2 a day once in a while, or at first. It's possible. All right, individual health status and overall diet. So please educate your people that they do need to look at their lifestyle and their diet. There's no magic pill of any sort where people get phenomenal results and don't change anything. I know there's some drugs out there where people are taking, but we want to do things in a natural way that supports the body and doesn't have side effects. So this is a good way to go here. So immune system support, what I've noticed with this is lymphatic drainage. As you loosen toxins, you want them to move through the body and out. If toxins get stuck anywhere, you can have discomfort and just not feel your best. So we've noticed that when we add a fit that day, maybe a second one at lunch, that seems to clear a lot of that. So it's been interesting to see its support of the drainage system of the body. I'm really amazed at that. For the most part, I have my clients on a morning dose of Fix that they put into their fit drink. And then we decide how are they feeling, what's going on with their body. If they have a good day, they're just feeling great, that might be the only dose they have that day. But if they wake up and something's hurting or they're not feeling their best, they'll take that morning dose. And if they're still feeling some of that, they might take a lunch dose. And that's not like on a real regular basis. That's just once in a while when we feel we need to do that. And everybody has to decide for themselves. So immunity, lymphatic drainage, elderberry in its history has been shown in certain studies to shorten the duration of colds and flu. So I actually love elderberry. They use it for anti-inflammatory aspects in the body and to boost overall immune system health. The green tea, they know, has some antiviral and antibacterial properties in studies. So that's kind of an interesting thing. And we know that we sometimes get attacked in the lungs as well as other areas. These products are very broad spectrum to support those areas. Bilberry has been used traditionally for the vision and the eyes. This would be a product that I would highly consider if you've had some challenges with your vision or your eyes, and see if over time some of that starts to do better. But bilberry has been used a lot for night vision challenges. So energy and cognitive function is another area, and it's something that a lot of people are concerned about. The amount of people who are having problems with their brain, even young people, but also in our older age, it's something we don't want to face, that we would have a trouble there. So if we can do some things to detoxify and support healthy circulation and drainage of toxins, then we might see some really powerful benefits cognitively for our focus and just our ability to perform on a daily basis. So this is a product. Please don't limit these products to people who need to lose weight. These products would be good for athletes. They'd be good for students in school who, especially the fit, especially when they're taking tests and around high stress times. So some people, they may not use a product every day, but they'll use it situationally when they need it. Like, I have a busy day today. I'm going to throw in one of my packets of Fit and make sure that I feel more alert and focused. So there's so many uses to this. I even think a lot of college students would really like the Fit product. So think about ways you can teach people. You know, a lot of libraries will let you come in and host a little group there and share. And people are looking for something, and let them know right away. This isn't your average herbs and vitamins. This is something that's a cut above. It really is head and shoulders above. It's something different. And it's something they often can feel. And when you get a product you can feel, that's a good product to have your hands on. All right, so let's look at a few other things. We know we get energy, by the way, from this. The guarana is a natural source of caffeine. It's a natural, and it's in its whole form. So I don't have any problem using that. It's used to reduce fatigue and improve focus and enhance learning. So some of you adults who are going back to college or you're taking classes, this would be very helpful. It's used for better brain function and reducing mental fatigue while supporting the balance of your neurotransmitters. Okay, those are the things which affect your mood also, and your hunger. So if there's another whole category of use there, this can be marketed in so many ways because of these categories. So we talked about the immune system category so far, the energy and brain cognition category, and then there's cardiovascular and metabolic health, your metabolism health, your cardiovascular circulatory health. And that's a big one. We want good foods that feed our heart. A lot of people, I think, do need heart support. So the grapeseed extract, excellent in this category. The green tea, the bilberry, the elderberry, the berries here, and just an excellent group for that. So keep in mind your friends who feel they need some heart support of some sort. This can be run by their doctor, but they're pretty great foods. And if they're allowed to have a little bit of caffeine, this should be fine. But again, run it by them and see. And metabolism. How many of us feel we have a sluggish metabolism? We hit 40 and what happened? We can't hardly eat anything. We gain weight. So metabolism seems to change a little bit. And let's look at these for the over 40 crowd as another subgroup. Of course, this is good for so many different ages, but especially as you talk with people, this can be a topic. And then general antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects. This is a broad effect. So we're looking at supporting all the tissues. I know that if I had surgery and as soon as I could have a normal diet again, I would want to be supporting those tissues for healing. So many effects here. There's so many effects. If I was a marathon runner, this would be one of the things I would use to support my tissue recovery. Okay, are you getting some ideas of how you could introduce this to different people? And then I've touched on this before, but I envision health. This is extremely powerful formula to support that. So I've always said fix is like 6 products in one. That's one way I market fix is if I put 6 of my regular herbs and vitamins together for people, it's about $150. I use quality products. I don't use garbage products that have a lot of stuff in them or poor forms of vitamins in them. I use a really good quality. And so a program, if you come to me, is $150, maybe $200 for a month. And as we start getting the body where we want it, we can cut back a bit. Fit is $79. So interesting to use a product that has, or not Fit, but Fix. Fix is $79. And it's wonderful to have a product that has so many functions rolled into one product. So I like that about it. And then our Fit is a little bit more of a valuable product in that range. But I think because of its activity, especially if you have some goals, on some areas of the body that have had some deterioration and some degeneration, you're feeling the effects of that, this would be a product to at least use for a period of time to start pulling things back together in that, starting to give it a real chance at turnaround and healing. And then after that, use it as you wish. If you can, some people say I can't afford products. It's hard. But if you share them, and do you know anybody who's sick or anybody who wants to be better with their health? If you share them, you will earn what you need to have your products for free. And that's what I encourage anybody to say who says it's expensive. Yeah, it's expensive to make products. All products have gone up. But you pay for your health one way or another. We either pay for it in prevention or we pay for it at the doctor's or surgeon's office. So that's the way I kind of look at it. And this one has a wonderful marketing plan where we can share and be rewarded and pay for our own products, plus much more if you want to do that. So I'm excited about them. I see them as very high quality. I don't give my stamp of endorsement and approval on many other products because I see them as so similar to other things that are on the marketplace, but this is different, and very impressed by it. So that's my take on it today. I hope you have gotten a little bit of something out of it. But if you go on the Roots for Wellness Facebook page and you kind of scroll down the featured, you will find under the featured tab, you will find that you can print out printouts on each of these products so that you'll be able to give them as handouts if you would like. So that's pretty much it, Leslie. If you have any other
Yes,
open it up for.
Sylvia, that was absolutely amazing. More than I asked for, more than I bargained for. You're amazing. So I know before we take questions, guys, Sylvia is a master of not only getting customers but retaining them. I want you to hear that. So Sylvia, could you kind of share what do you do to get customers and what do you do to retain them? Because that's the whole. If anybody takes anything away from it today, is what they have to do once someone says yes, I want to take these products. Go ahead, Sylvia.
I think when you really want to help people, and that has to be a real core in this. I think you have to want to help people. Um, and that comes across when you talk to people that you really want to help them. You want to see them get healthier and you want to see them get better. And that's been my reputation because I've worked with that for so long. So because I want the best for other people, they tend to want to listen to what I want to say. Now, if you're talking with a stranger, I'm hoping that will come across from you, that you can share you want the best for them, that you're out using your time and energy not for just any old thing, but something really special that can not only help them, but help people they know. And once you get a few testimonials back and ask for them, ask if they'll write a testimonial and send it to you. That's great. It's great to be able to say, wow, look at all these different variety of people. They're just getting better in all kinds of ways. So everybody has a different journey. And sometimes the journey's a little rough at first if there's toxins, of course. So I kind of educate about that. I do let them know that if they have any symptoms that feel a little difficult, to call me. And I talk to them. I talk to them about the pomegranate juice and the beet juice and an extra fit, or have you tried the fit yet? I'm encouraging everybody to, when they sign up, get the fix and the fit together. So that I feel like that enhances the probability of a good experience, because the toxins are loosening. We want them to drain through the system properly. And that tends to avoid symptomology if that's happening perfectly. So we do want that. Exercise and movement helps toxins drain too. But I do a lot of education. Those are just examples. I give education to people. I support them. I ask them if they have anything they need to chat about that I can help them. I ask them about their family. I mean, I've always made my clients kind of my friends to it in a certain way, not necessarily people I'm associated with and going out to lunch with all the time, but I want to know that they're well and their family's well and their kids are well and things are well for them. And if they aren't and they need some help from me, I'm happy to chat with them. So I think it's being caring. I really think that's how you retain people. And they don't know that unless you contact them. You've got to have some sort of contact with people. So I would suggest you call your people at least once a week at first for the first month, then maybe once every 2 weeks and once a month, and kind of share with them, let them know some new tidbits, send them something, send them a video, something they can watch, just further education. But it's keeping in contact. That's really it.
Awesome. Sylvia, two more things before we open up. Number one is, what do you show people when you're reaching out? What's the key video or documents you're sharing that gets people's attention to get someone to join you as an iStar customer?
Well, I want them to be educated about the product. So I love sharing the Facebook page, and I make sure I send them the link, because sometimes I'll invite somebody and they won't see that invite. So I copy and send that link to them in a text or an email. And I really encourage them to get on and spend some time just reading about people using the product. People can educate themselves almost 100% from that page, because under the feature tab, there's all kind of videos and everything they can look at. If they run into any Vimeo on there and they click on a Vimeo presentation, they will find that after they watch that, they can scroll downward like you do in YouTube. You can scroll downward and find loads of Vimeo presentations that you can watch at your leisure. So those are ways of educating there. If I'm sending something like from ACE or something Leslie's passed along to me, my favorites have been Dr. Bauer's white papers. And sometimes I go to chapter 2 in his white papers and I just print out those 2 pages. They're excellent. Give those 2 pages to people, because sometimes people won't sit down and watch a video. I've come to the point where I ask, are you a reader or are you a listener? If they're a listener, I send them the trio of videos. I send them Dr. Kareem, I think it's about 4 minutes, and one on Terry, which is about 13 or 14 minutes. And then I've got one on Dr. Bowers that I pick out and send. So that trio is amazing. And then if they say, I don't watch videos much, but I read, I'll send them the white paper. I might even cut out those 2 pages from chapter 2 and just send them that. So I am considerate of people's time. And sometimes I would say print out that chapter 2 of your white paper. It's only 2 pages, I think, and hand them out. Hand them out to people a little bit. Let them know this is from a full white paper and you're happy to send them the rest of it, but some of the research done. And that's powerful. It's really powerful for professionals.
Now, the reason why I asked that question, Sylvia, is I gave you the link in my Ace page. So when you share that, every time you share that page, I get a notice. And I'm telling you, every day I get 10 to 15 Sylvia Rogers clicked on white paper. Sylvia Rogers clicked on white paper. So I know you're sharing it out there and it's working, guys. There's nothing like knowing something that works and doing it over and over again. So, all right, one last question, and I promise I'll open up. What do you say to the person? Say, Sylvia, I want to take the product first. I'm interested in the business. I want to make some money, but I want to try the product first because I have to make sure that I feel the impact of it or the integrity of it. So, to someone like that, given all the research out there,
Well, I have somebody
what do you say to them?
I have somebody who has a store, an herbal store, and they just got involved in it. And already, just from us having talks about it, she's excited. And so she said, I want to have a class. I want to have a class because I teach regular classes. I want to have a class on this. And I said, great, here, let me send you the white paper, make some notes on that, make some handouts. I'll send you what I typed up on Fit. And she could have a class, and she's excited to start. And the lady's coming who's bringing 3 people, and all those 3 people are ready to start. So if you can really share a little bit of the research, especially some of the doctors, and how Dr. Bowers has mentioned it's one of his favorite products, he's very impressed with it. The research and the information has been out there. People have had great results. Everybody has a little different journey. So to wait to see how I respond to it, it might not be the way you respond to it. I I might not have some massive miracle happen in the first month, but my friend might. So we don't want to limit people and say, oh, wait and see what happens to me because that'll happen to you. Everybody, depending on where your inflammation lies, where your toxin lies, it's a different journey. You'll never know unless you try it yourself. It's not going to be your friend's story. It's going to be your own story. So that's important to educate people on that.
Awesome. Awesome. There you go, Sylvia. That's why you're a superstar. I love it. I can't wait for you to hit diamond. It's inevitable because I'm watching your progress. And when here's what I love about your progress. It's nice and steady and good growth every month. You're building your clientele and they're staying on the product. So when you hit the higher ranks, there your retention is through the roof. It's not about selling, 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 guys. It's about retention. Yes, it's selling too, but it's retention.
Yeah.
So,
And for
guys, I hope you got that from Sylvia today. So, I'll open it up. I have a couple of people raise hands. We'll take some questions for the next 15 minutes, and we'll go from there. Thank you, Sylvia, for you're amazing. Arlene,
I thank you very
go
much.
ahead.
I learned a lot from listening to that, just like I'm sure everybody else did. I have a question about my husband is on a cancer drug to kill his immune system because he has a life-threatening autoimmune issue, rare type of vasculitis, and I've been giving him the fix to help him with some energy and help his microbiome in his stomach. Um, And uh, anyway, um, I believe that if we support the immune system, he has a better chance. And what it's done, it's deteriorated his kidneys down to 15%. And so he's in renal failure. And I would love to give him the array of products that MPG has, but because I talk about it, it says boosting the immune system. He says, I can't take that. The doctor says I need to suppress my immune system. Anyway, any suggestions whatsoever would be lovely.
yeah, that's a bit of a tough one because, yes, everything here is aimed at building your immune system up so your body can release the things that are causing the problem. So, what some people have done is they do have you ever heard of the ionic foot baths? Do you know what those are?
I understand about Epsom salts in for soaking the feet, but the ionic foot baths, no, I'm not exactly sure.
And that's where I've seen people reverse some of this kidney issue is because it seems to allow the body to expel a lot of toxicity through the pores of the feet, through the lymphatic. So if you don't have that, well, then I would suggest is the baths to see if that can help. But I understand that that's a tough one because um, yeah, you really have to give the body the tools so the body can get rid of the real root of what's going on. And you do need the body to be able to go in there and do that. If something's inflamed long term where you feel like you've got to do something, to me, it's just like my friend who has the rheumatoid arthritis, they put out drugs to try to suppress that inflammatory response and everything. But using the fix has whatever mechanism that's doing in his body, it's taking his pain away. He lost weight, which he needed to lose. He's able to walk normally where he was shuffling around, and he's not having that pain in his joints. And that was just on fix. So it's a little, I almost need to just talk to you individually because it's a little complicated.
Yeah, I wish I could convince him that there's another way. I wouldn't take that. I mean, even the doctor says this is killing you. This is poisoning you, what they're giving him. And I so agree. And I don't feel it's not helped him at all in the last 8, 9 months. He has not progressed anymore by doing what they've given him. Other than they've boosted his blood up from 66% to 120 with a shot of a needle.
Mhm. Yeah, he's got, people, sometimes people say, will you talk to my relative? Will you convince them this, convince them that? But I tell you, everybody, the best advice I ever give everybody is people need to do what gives them the most peace. I don't know. Sometimes
Yes.
they're doing
Yeah.
things I would never do, but it gives them peace somehow. So I've just learned to allow people to make their own choices. I do like the idea if they'll allow me to educate them, to give them
Hmm.
an optional road that they might be able to think about. But if there's fear or anxiety about that road, that can make a person miserable too. So,
Yeah. With the kidney, it's fear to begin
yeah,
with.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I just wondered if anybody, and I know some people pop some things in the chat, which I'll get a chance to look at. I'm just looking for suggestions of how to deal with it. I thank you so much. Your education is beautiful. We love it. And thank you. I'd like to have a question later on, but not for you. But it's just I'm Canadian and we cannot find a link, or I can't find a link to be able to help people have the sample packs
Yeah, it's not ready
because
yet for
Canadians can't
Canada.
sell it.
It's not yet for Canadians, but it's coming. Okay.
No, but we want to be able to give it to our US friends.
Oh, okay. So you can't get the link for the US as well. All
Right.
right. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
No
That's
problem. Thank you. Okay. All right, Lois, go ahead, Lois. Let me unmute Lois. Let me see. There you go, Lois. Can you unmute?
Yep. Hi,
There you go.
thanks. I just came down to the basement. So my question, thank you again so much for sharing your knowledge with us and all the things. Um, I have loved my journey on Fix. It's been amazing. And I was excited for Fit to come out. And when it came out, I started with that and was amazing. And then I got crazy bloated. And one of my ISRs also got bloated. So I'm like, okay, because I thought it was something else maybe I ate, but I stopped eating that thing. It was called Tambrin. And I had that week I had eaten a bunch of it, but I still experienced the bloating when I stopped it and continued with the fit, and so did she. And then I posed the question in the chat, and I guess someone else in on the call is also experiencing bloating. So I don't know if you have anything to share with us that may help. I stopped taking fit with my fix. I stopped taking fit, period, and my bloating is gone. So I'm not too sure what it is that's not agreeing with my system.
Or it can be literally just pushing toxins down through that lymphatic of the intestinal system. Um, yeah, you could just take a little break from it and then see if whatever that is makes its way through, and you can start on it again and see if it does that again. At least you know if you stop it, it goes away. But I don't think it really causes the bloating and everything
Ooh, why can't I hear you?
Sylvia, you're
Yes,
muted.
Sophia. Is he
Okay.
muted?
Yes, she
Okay, yeah,
got
muted
muted
somehow.
somehow.
The bloating is kind of the
There you
movement
go.
of toxins through that area. It will cause some of the bloating. What we do, we just do a natural thing with that. We've tried taking double the fit, taking one at breakfast and one at lunch to see if we can push it through the lymphatic system and kind of move it out of that area. But also you could just chop up ginger root, just clean it, chop it up, boil it up, make a strong ginger tea, and have a certain amount of tablespoons of that at your meals for a while. And that may flush that through the lymphatics of your intestine. But
Okay.
usually it's something that's temporary, something that's moving through the region that your body has let go of. Keep in mind, you can be doing smooth sailing. You can just be feeling great and awesome, and your vitality is getting better and better and better. And all at once, you have something like that happen. And that's because the body is often strong enough to go after something difficult that's harder to move. And if it gets stuck in its journey, then you have a symptom. So it's what could I take that would kind of power that through there. That's the way I think, at least that's how I do it. And what I would probably do if I was experiencing that is I would take an extra dose of fit and an extra dose of fix at lunchtime and see if I could move that. And
Okay.
of course, you
I'm
can stop it too. Sometimes people stop it and they're stuck in that spot, though. They find that their bloating is just stuck there, so they need to do something to power it through. You were lucky; yours kind of just stopped, and
yeah,
maybe
I was like, oh,
the
what?
break. It's okay.
But
Take a little break, sure.
yeah, but I'm new to this whole flushing and detoxing. Like this is all new language and experiences for me. So I have enough fit to do a million doses a day because I stocked up like a crazy person. And so I can do two, I'll try that. I already do two fix a day. So I'll do two fit a day and see if that helps do what you're saying, push through whatever's happening or whatever.
Your body more power to move whatever is stuck.
Okay.
That's kind of what we're trying to do is give the lymphatics more transportation power from those antioxidants.
Okay. So thank you so much. So that's what I'll do. I'll double up on the fit. I'll start that back. I started um NZ-Folic today. So I'm like, okay, body, let's go. We'll see what happens with that. But I'll thank you for the advice. That's what I'll do. And I'll also advise my friend, my ISR, and then um whoever else is listening can do that too. Okay, thank you so much.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay, guys, let me see who's next. I think I see, is it Melinda? So we'll take a few more questions, guys, and then we'll wrap up. We got Melinda, and we got I think Melinda. Go ahead, Melinda.
Good morning. Thank you, Sylvia, for all your knowledge. I have a quick question. My husband is on fix since May, and the reason why I did that is to help. He had a heart attack 11 years ago today, and he's on a statin and aspirin every day. But I'm curious about the fit, if that would be something good for him for his heart. He is physically fit because he's a general contractor. So I just kind of wanted to pick your brain on your thoughts about that because he does take a statin and an aspirin.
I would definitely use that. You might even see that any cholesterol even may, with that better metabolism, remember it works on metabolism too. It might help the liver in its control of cholesterol. So that's another thing to consider. But I think being an antioxidant, and it's so broad spectrum to help all tissues, I think it would be very good for his heart tissues.
Perfect. Thank you, Sylvia.
Yeah, I think it'd be awesome.
Can you wrap up by just letting everybody know why they need to stay on these products and why you think they should be
Because I
taking it
think
the
the
rest?
world is getting more toxic, not less toxic. And I think those toxins are locking up in our liver, our kidneys, the reproductive organs of the body, the brain, thyroid. Boy, we see a lot of detox needed there. Circulatory system. It's not easy to live in the world the way it is nowadays. It polluted, really polluted. And yeah, they're spraying stuff in the air, they're doing all kind of stuff. So I not only think it's good to have an auto ship of one a month, I think it's good to actually have some bottles in your storeroom so that if you need extra at some point, you have them. So these are power products. Think of each one as 6 products in one. You've seen people who are really sick on big programs. This is a pretty good sized program. Even the 2 of them together, it reaches many parts of the body. So until your toxins go away and you live in heaven or the Garden of Eden or your little place in Montana, wherever you're gonna be where you're toxin free, you're going to need to work on your body because of the statistics. The United States statistics are not good for the way we live out our lives here, unfortunately. I wish it was better news, but we've got good news. We've got something we can use and share it with a few people so that you are not really paying for your product. It's coming to you for free. That's
there you go. So Sylvia,